Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Still under section 1, core beliefs, or part 1, core beliefs. This is my contrarian takes. And this question is, where do I deliberately go against the crowd and why does it work? There are probably two places that I deliberately go against the crowd, and that is email marketing and direct mail. And a lot of that has to do with people don't think it works or they don't like to do it like they should. So most people will say they've tried email marketing, but it doesn't work. And I'll say, have you tried emailing every day? There was a client I had who sold watches and he was sending out, I convinced him to finally do email. He sent one email a week and he wasn't happy with the responses. And I said, do 7. And he agreed to do 3. And when he did 3 emails a week, he saw an uptick in sales. He said, hey, I'm getting more sales. I said, that's fantastic. Do 7. And he agreed to do 5 emails a week. And he saw another uptick in sales. And he's like, this is working excellently. And I said, dude, just do 7. Like, you don't have to make them ornate. They don't have to be pretty, which is another way that I go against the crowd. You don't need these pretty, ornate, graphic heavy, swoosh, animated emails. No, it can be like a plain text email, but send 7, right? When he sent 7, it ended up adding $20,000 to $30,000 to his business every month. He was already doing about 30 or 40,000 from his ads, and he wanted to get to 70,000. And so I just told him to start doing emails. And as soon as he added it in, he was hitting the market number he wanted to do. Now, they have to be written a certain way, sure, but it was one of those things where people will forget, or they'll be like, oh, I'm just doing this, and they'll slow down. And they'll say, oh, I'm not making as many sales. Oh, I didn't send an email out. Let me get those going again. Which reminds me of another client I had where whenever she saw her daily stats and her numbers were dipping, the first place she would go to is, did I send an email today? Because she knows that brings in 10, 20% of the sales for the day. And it may not seem like much, 10, 20% of your sales, but if you're doing a high volume, that's a huge amount. And almost every time they hadn't sent the email yet. So she quickly craft one and send one out and her numbers would come back up. And this is very common. The other side of this is people who get scared to send emails. And I don't understand why. Do you check your email every day? Not everybody does, but a lot of people do. How many times do you remember the emails you got yesterday? And then when you see an email from them today, you get upset. I would wager that's close to 0% of the time. There might be like, so I say close. You might get a little upset. I'm not saying there aren't unique people out there that hate every email they get. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about your average person. Most people, as they get emails, they don't keep track of who emailed them. So the next day when they get an email, they're like, oh my God, I got an email for this again. I just got one yesterday about this. They didn't even think about it. Most people, it's in one ear and out the other because they get so many messages. So why do it? Because at one point in time, they might be thinking about that product. And if you're emailing them every day, they're going to immediately link that need to you. Here's an example in my own case. So for a while, this is when they were doing really well. I don't know how they're doing now. I'd have to go check. But Domino's used to allow you to sign up to like their email list. And I forget how I subscribed to it. Probably something stupid. And every day, or just before dinner time, I'd get an email with the promos for the day of what their discounts were for that day or what their specials were. Most of the time I paid zero attention to it, but about once a week, I'd want something to eat. And I didn't know what to eat. I didn't know what dinner was. And I would be like, well, let me just see what the deals are. And we'd end up ordering something, right? Compare that to any and all the other options I had available to me, up to including buying frozen food from the store. But because I wasn't getting messages about that, and I wasn't getting messages from the other places nearby, I was getting messages from them regularly. Then when I thought about getting something to eat, I immediately thought of the email that I get every single day. It didn't bother me that I saw it. I knew it was there, but I didn't think about it until I needed that. And then I was like, where's that email? And this happens to your customers too. Most people don't like to do it though. And that company even pared it back. They feel like it's bad or wrong or something. It isn't. It's one of those things. The other thing is direct mail. A lot of people don't like to do direct mail because it's hard for them to see the data right away. So they'll spend $5, $10, $15 to get a lead online. but they won't even spend $2 for a lead offline that they can send a message to for $1, right? Both of them are leads, but one's digital and one's physical. And because they don't see the physical for a little bit till afterwards, they bail on it. And that's just dumb. But these marketing channels work really well because they're avoided most of the time. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.